So why is it difficult to lose weight? One has to understand that we are up against certain non-modifiable factors that we do not have any control. We know that there are 4 factors that influence our weight. We know that 70% of our adult weight is determined by our genes, and these genes are heavily encoded in our brain that gives a very unique appetite system to us. So genes and our appetite system is very uniquely based on our genes. Then we have our environment and diet and lifestyle. So all of this, if we give each 25%, so the only thing that is modifiable is just the diet and the lifestyle. Even environment is not much in our hand. So maybe we can say 33% is in our hand, and rest is not our hand. That is why it's become very hard to pinpoint the reason. You have to understand the appetite system is basically controlled by 3 areas of the brain that are basically interconnected with each other. One of the things that one has to realize that an area of the brain, which in layman terms we call it as a gatekeeper, as an engineer, which is actually the hemostatic system, the hypothalamus of the body, this is the key that determines our weight. So this guy here, or this hypothalamus, control most of the body functions: blood pressure, temperature, your pH of the body, heart rate. It also defends the highest weight that you have ever achieved, or the adult set point that your weight is. Now everyone's different on it, and we call it a set point theory. It's an hypothesis, because it's very hard to come up with a research. There have been many research done, but most of the bariatric experts now call it a set point theory, that hypothalamus control the highest weight of the body and tends to defend the highest weight. And if a person is on that weight for at least, some research says 6 months, or some say 18 months, that hypothalamus defends that weight. Now, so once the set weight is there, that gatekeeper defends that weight, and it tries to balance out the hormones. So you feel hungry, you feel not hungry, right? And it's a game between 2 hormones. So this is my pet graph. I just loved this graph, and you must have seen it when I'm talking to you guys. So this is how our body reacts to weight loss and how our body defends. So first thing we have to remember that our body is programmed to defend our highest weight. So in other words, obesity protects obesity. So once you get to a highest weight, body thinks, hey, it's mine. It's gonna cherish it. So obesity protects obesity. So this is how our genetics is. So let's say this is a person who's 250 pounds. Okay. Now, at this point, we are not discussing how he ended up at 250. Maybe he was on some medication that pushed him 250. He had a bad sleep, bad relationship, many bad life stages, life events, diabetes, insulin, whatever. So he ended up at 250. Now, when he go to his doctor, and his doctor say, you know what, you need to lose weight because your blood sugars are very bad. So what he said, he makes his effort. He say, you know what, from Monday onwards, I'm going to start losing weight. And he does whatever he can. So he start eating healthy, get his good sleep, he do whatever he has in his strength to lose weight. So 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, when he start losing weight, a point will come in his time, probably after either he have lost above 5 pounds, because the set point is plus minus 5 pounds in most research, or after 1 or 2 days. What is happening here, that the hypothalamus is there to defend the highest weight, right? So when the weight loss starts to happen, the hypothalamus, the gatekeeper who has the eye on the leptin, which the leptin is one of the hormones that makes our weight stable. So when the weight is losing, you're losing bit of adipose tissue, the leptin level is going down, and that gatekeepers is keeping an eye on the leptin. He starts getting panic. He thinks something's bad is happening to the body. Is it starvation? Is it cancer? Why this person is losing weight? Now he will start putting all the effort so you gain weight. So one of the things that the hypothalamus, the gatekeeper, does, he imbalances the hormones that we talked about. What he does, he decreases the level of the good hormones that we talked about that gives you a sense of fullness and satiety. That levels goes very down, right? So with one hamburger you feel satiety, but now it's two hamburgers and you don't feel full and you want to order a third one. That's what happens. The hunger hormone goes very high. So there's an imbalance. And what cumulative effect is? You start eating more, you have increased appetite. Then it doesn't stop here. What it does, it slows down your metabolism. Whatever your metabolism was, it slows down. So what happens after 1 week, or you have lost like 5, 6, 7 pounds? You start feeling lazy. You start feeling you're pooped out, you're burned out. And then what will your spouse, family, and children will say? Stop it, Saima. Don't do it. You get tired, you're missing your work, you're on the couch. Stop it. And you will blame yourself and you will say, you know what, again after 2 weeks, that's what I always do. I'm pooped out, I don't have no willpower. But this is not you still have a willpower, but this is your gatekeeper doing that. So decrease energy after 2 weeks of doing 2 hours every day. You just shut down. And then it doesn't stop here. When the hunger hormones are more and your metabolism is less, it gives you certain cravings. So the hypothalamus, the gatekeeper, activates the motivational system, the go-getter, to very specific, highly dense calories. Not even, so you don't want to end up in a salad bar. You want that particular cake. You want that pie because you need high calorie to match up the loss that you have done. And what will happen? You start eating more. So you have increased appetite. You're eating more calorie food, right? And one more thing, the fourth thing also happens. This is a concept what we call as fuel efficiency. So even you're eating less, your body is happy with it, right? So you said, hey, my diet is now at 1,000 calories and 900 calories, but I'm still not losing weight because your body, your gatekeeper is not satisfied with it. So this also can happen. So what happened? You have lost weight, no doubt, in 2-3 weeks, but this phenomena starts to happen, which is against your will. And then slowly after 1 week, or you don't even realize, boom, the weight is back to where it was. But it will not end here. Believe me, you will regain that weight. Why? Because now hypothalamus, because he was panicked, from 250 he went to 245 or 240. Now he's back to 250 and he will say, oh my God, what will happen if I lose again? So he push you to 260, because once you lose $100, when you earn back, what do? You don't earn 100, you earn 500 because you're fearful that you don't want to lose. So does this journey sounds familiar to you? Because this is what mostly happening when we are losing weight. And we do this for maybe a month, and then we are sick and tired, and then after 6 months we do this efforts again, and then 2-3 weeks we are sick, tired. So what are we doing with these yo-yo stuff of up and down, up and down? We are losing our muscle mass. We're losing what is happening? The cumulative effect is our metabolic rate, because muscles are the key things that provides the metabolism and gives you metabolic increase. So this is the actual struggle. The problem here is our gatekeeper hypothalamus get panic when we are losing weight because there's abnormality in the hormone. That is why now it becomes easier when we have exogenous hormone to help us, that the hypothalamus or the gatekeeper does not get panic. So when you take this medication, first of all, there's slow weight loss. So the hypothalamus does not get panic. He does not pushes the panic button where you get craving. Second thing, the level of the hunger hormone remains less. You're getting a good hormone. The balance is there. So you don't feel craving. You don't feel increased appetite. So let's talk. I really like this graph as well. So let me explain you what it says. So you have two colors here. So the blue color is the response of the people who suffers with weight. What is their response of having a meal and a change in the hunger hormone or the change in the bad hormone? How their body responds in the change of the bad hormone. So the green are those people who have never struggled with weight, and how their body respond to meal, and how their body respond to the change in the bad hormone. That's basically what graph says. So what happens is that these are the two people that started at point 1 when they have a meal. Okay, they have a meal. See, the normal people, as soon as they have a meal, look at the change of the bad hormone. As soon as they have a meal, what happens? The bad hormone goes down. Good response, isn't it? It goes down at 10 minutes. So when they have a bite, a reasonable portion size, the bad hormone goes down. By 20 minutes, it's all go down. So by the time they have a reasonable meal, they're done. They say, hey, I'm done. They put their plate in the kitchen sink and they're off they go. See how long this response goes in. So they have a meal, they finish the meal at 10 minutes, 20 minutes, but this response, the hunger hormone, is still not creeping high. It's the level is low after the response of a food. And at 40 minutes, maybe there's a spike, but up to an hour, and if you would have done study, this is how the hunger hormone remains. They're slow, so they don't feel hungry. And if you would have done, I mean, the researchers is only done an hour, but if you would have done 2, 3, 4 hours, might be that the hunger levels would be small. So let's see the response of most of the people who have suffered from weight. I want you to pay attention to this. So once they have a meal that's in the plate, as soon as they have the meal, look the response of the change in the bad hormone. These people go down. But unfortunately, these people, after having one meal, they want to have more because the hormone does not go down, the hormone is going up. The change in the hormone is more positive. So what are most of the people think after seeing a meal, smelling a meal, and eating a meal, they want to order one more? Why? It's not you, it's the hormones. So most of the people, after having a bite, the hormone will rise by 10 minutes. But look at that, what is happening at the 20th, 30th, and 40th. The hormone will go down. It will eventually go down. But this is the major culprit. That's why you will hear Shaistha talking it about. Take your time. Be mindful. Take 20 minutes to eat your meal. Chew your meal. You don't need 3 hamburgers. You don't need a big pack. You still have the same appetite as the normal people, but your response of hormone is very low, very slow. There is very less change. And unfortunately, you have a spike and then it goes down. So see, it has a spike, but see, after 60 minutes, it is down. This is the problem having here. These first 10, 20 minutes are the crucial, most of the people. So one of the mindfulness and behavior therapy that we might need in these people who have a struggle for food, you still have the same amount, same size of the stomach, you still need the same portion size or appetite, but you need to give yourself a time. You need to chew your food. You need to think about your food, because after 20 minutes, you will not feel hungry. But the main sabotager, the triggers, is happening in first 10 minutes, because people take too much food, they order too much food, they say, it's not enough for me, and they eat within 10 minutes. So this is what's happening. But unfortunately, you can see the genetic response to the people who have normal weight and the people who have high weight, how there is a difference in their body response. Does this make a bit of sense here? So the bad hormone, the ghrelin, is one of the hormones, which is a hunger hormone that will stimulate the brain for us to think about food. It increases our appetite. It does slows down our metabolism, and it makes it think about food all the time. Now, research has shown that when we do a lot of yo-yo dieting, means that weight is up, weight is down, it makes the ghrelin level high, because you will always feel hungry. Because remember, the gatekeeper response of increased appetite, so there will be a chronic rise in ghrelin level. So this is what happening. So that is why in the end, the conclusion is, yes, it is difficult to lose weight, no doubt. Why? Because you're going against your own genetics. Plus, your own genetics is now colliding with the current obesogenic environment, where 3 hamburgers is readily available within 5 minutes, right? Previously, when we were in the caveman, you only get one portion, and you even want a second or third portion, you need to go out, hunt, and cook your food. Here, it's readily available. So we're up against 2 forces. So Just concluding what I've said, so obesity, yes, is a chronic disease.